staring at that light and now I can't see anything. Oh, you know what time it is, folks. It's right. It's time for more Doc Rio TV. Today I got something special for you all. I'm sorry I can't see right now. I hope he leaves that in so that you can catch why I was caught off guard. But yeah, I looked into a light bulb, and that's part of the reason why I wear glasses in the first place, because my eyes are burnt out from the use of too many lights and being in front of stage lights for a majority of my life. So with that being said, I'll set up a light to kind of sort of, oh, it is a light to kind of sort of, you know, a backlight to kind of cut across me so I can give myself some more light. And when I went to turn it on, you know, I closed my eyes and I opened my eyes after turning it on just to make sure I adjusted it right, and I did my own little thing and looked right into the dang light. So I really am blind right now. But anyway, this interest is a little bit long. What we're going to do today, we're going to jump into the 12 steps to multimedia success. We're going to backtrack a little bit. I got a pre-recorded broadcast of part of the lesson series that I prepared before. I want to make sure I deliver that to you all today. So stay tuned for an older episode of the 12 steps to multimedia success. And this one is called Invest in Your Dreams. Look at us up on Doc Rio TV. Welcome to another exciting episode to the 12 steps to multimedia success. This is Doc Rio, and I know I always say exciting. I'm excited. I hope you're excited too. This episode I'm calling Invest in Your Dreams. And with that being said, the first tip I'm going to give you guys today is do not use unlicensed music. That's for DJs, musicians, dancers, singers, actors, producers. Do not use unlicensed music. It's very, very sketchy right now when it comes to music and the career and your career. And you don't want to actually prepare something without having it paid for and then turn around and get sued or have a cease and desist in the long run. So that's what I have to say about unlicensed music, and that's my tip for the day. But with that being said, we're going to jump into the music block. The music block is going to basically talk about, well, briefly, because in the program you'll learn more and more about the styles of music, where to get music, and what types of music you should be looking for. Like, for instance, in the music block, I always talk about you should find music that fits the scene that you're creating. Whether it's a radio show, whether it's a television show, whether it's a movie, whether it's a film, you want the music to actually fit the scene that it's in. I've seen a few different shows or movies that sometimes the music just doesn't fit the flow of the action that you're seeing on the screen, and that just really takes the viewer outside of what, you know, it distracts the viewer. And you don't want to distract the viewer. You want to keep the viewer as compelled, or the listener as compelled as possible. So even with bed music, I've made the mistake a few times during radio by playing some bed music in a transition that was exiting the show that didn't really fit with the show that was on prior to it. And I did those mistakes at kpcradio.com while I was learning how to DJ in between shows or mix in between shows. And you know, I noticed later that I ended up having to cut the music out of the show. Why? Because it just didn't really fit. So I'm just telling you, we'll be talking more about that in the 12 Steps to Multimedia Success program, in the block, the music block, and we'll talk more about the different styles of music that you can use, or that work in all areas of film, television, dance, music, and art. There's certain styles, and I'll talk to you about that in the program. Also, we want to talk about, you know, when we talk about getting music, there are ways to get free music. A lot of you guys are like, oh man, I gotta pay for my music. You know what? There are ways to get some free music. When I say pay for your music, or do not use unlicensed music, royalty-free music is licensed music. That is a royalty-free license that is out there for folks like yourself who may need one of those opportunities to get some music from other people out there who are giving you an opportunity to get it through it's a fair use license. That's the word I was looking for. A fair use license in a sense, and a royalty-free license are similar. And what that basically allows is that anyone to use it under the terms that the owner of the music puts out in their license. So you may get free music, but make sure you read the licensing agreement. Make sure you read the royalty-free agreements, and do not violate them, because that can put you in the same boat. So with the royalty-free music thing, there's loads and loads and loads of free music on the web. And I want to make sure you guys know that. Just look around. Type in royalty-free music on Google. Simple as that. And you will definitely find loads of free music. Now let's talk about licensing music that's popular. Licensing professional music, or licensing music that's mainstream. Licensing mainstream music. All right. Mainstream music is a little tricky. There's a few ways you can do it. Now, if you're a DJ, you can do something like stream licensing. There are a couple of companies out there that do stream licensing that allow you to get out there. Actually, one is called stream licensing. So I'm giving that away. I'm giving that away right now before we even get in the program. One of them is called streamlicensing.com. And what you do is you pay them to host your music through, live broadcast your music through their system. Once it's going through their system, it's being counted, and basically they count how many times you play a certain amount of music. And I believe they have rules according to how many times you can play a certain amount of music, as well as how many of your listeners. So you pay per the amount of listeners or your circulation that you have. So pay attention to that. Read the rules on the website, and make sure you get the right agreement that fits your station, if you're a DJ or if you're a radio station. Now, if podcasters, I think I was going to talk about this in the video with Taylor earlier, but I didn't get a chance to. I wanted to point out to her that once she took her show from being a regular just podcast and put it into a live streaming platform, once it's on a live streaming platform, it is now a live show. It is now a radio show, no longer a podcast. So I just want to bring that up. But podcasters and radio show hosts, if you're a podcaster or if you're a radio show host and you're wanting to license mainstream music, you need to you need to go to the website of ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, or SOCAN. You need to check those out. SOCAN's in Canada, so if you got artists that are coming from Canada, that's what SOCAN is. CSAC is newer. It's 15 years old now, I think, but it's a newer form of ASCAP and BMI. And all you guys who are older, who know BMI as when we were back in the days when we were receiving tapes and CDs in the mail, that was BMI sending us those tapes and CDs, making us buy the music before we even wanted to buy the music. I know most of y'all remember that. They was making us buy that music sometimes, and they would send us music and charge us for it, and then tell us, oh, well, we can ask for a refund later. Well, BMI became a music licensing company, which we've heard of today as BMI. ASCAP, everybody's heard of ASCAP. That's the original, that's the first music licensing company out there. And what they do is they make sure that people get their royalties. If you're a musician and you're performing and you write music, you want to get, generally speaking, you want to get paid for the music. I know I said earlier on Facebook, I'm tired of hearing people here saying that they want to get paid for music, but this is the point on that. All right, there are musicians out there who are upset because they're not mainstream musicians, but they're not going anywhere. And they want to get paid right now for their music. That's what I was talking about on Facebook. I'm not talking about, hey, these musicians out here that are working hard and in the industry and it's a business for them wanting to get paid for their music. I understand that. It's a business. So, but I mean, when there are people that are trying to get in the industry, sometimes you got to make sacrifices and get people to like your music first. People to understand what you're trying to put out there first. People to feel your music first before you get paid for it. You can't just jump out there and get paid. And that's the a misconception. That's a myth about Los Angeles. I can come here and be a star automatically. So with that being said, go on the website. If you want to use licensed music, mainstream music and licensed mainstream music, go on ASCAP.com, go to BMI.com, go to CSAC or SOCAN, and follow their instructions. They got a layout of instructions on how you can do that and how much you would have to pay. Just read the information that's there for you. And I don't know, because I still got that phone camera thing, so I might be looking up and down, folks. So if you see me looking up and down, it's because I'm getting ready to do a Facebook Live session real quick. Now, original and indie music. Original and indie music is out there. I know some guys all over the place that are giving away their music. I got people who are willing to let you license their music. I know you got friends. You probably got friends, family members. Let me make sure I'm looking at the right camera. You probably got friends, family members, or other people you just know, generally acquaintances, that have music that they want to give out, that they want people to hear. Talk to those people. Those people that are actually trying to get their music out there free and get it out to the right people. So see if you can get music from them. I know I've run into a lot of local talent. I've run into a lot of friends online. You got friends online too that are doing music, etc. out there. So with that being said, we're gonna jump into a live session with the folks on Facebook real quick. Let's see if it'll start up real quick. Facebook, take number 1, like I did before. Let's see if it starts up. Oh, it's trying to reconnect already. All right. Hey, all right, it looks like we are actually live on Facebook. Let me make sure of that. Oh, can't tell anymore. Oh, the ringer's on. So maybe we're actually live on Facebook now. Maybe you guys are actually hearing sound now. Let's stop it from wiggling real quick. Let's stop it from wiggling. All right. So if we're live on Facebook, welcome to another episode of the 12 Steps to Multimedia Success. And you know what time it is. It's time for the live Facebook session of the 12 Steps to Multimedia Success. And today I got something special for you. Today's episode is called Invest in Your Dreams. And the reason why it's called Invest in Your Dreams is because I'm talking about the music block. The music block basically covered some things about making sure you don't use unlicensed music. So you'll see that tip. You'll see that tip on the recorded session when we come back. But today I have something from a book called 100 Careers in the Music Industry, in the music business, 100 Careers in the Music Business. Let me make sure that's the title real quick. I've had this book for a while. Yeah, there's 100 Careers in the Music Business. And there's a section that talks about Todd Holm. Todd Holm, I don't want to give you a brief about Todd Holm, but generally speaking, he grew up in Saskatchewan, Canada, and basically he wanted to become something greater in the industry. What he ended up becoming was a music executive. And getting there, he saw some hurdles, he saw some trials and tribulations. I want to read you his story real quick. This is out of 100 Careers in the Music Business by, it's a Barron's book by Crouch. I guess it's Crouch. I've never really looked at the title of that one. Holm attended Berklee College of Music in Boston. Then he kicked around a few bands and gained some recording experience before heading west in 1989. In Los Angeles, he quickly discovered the city already had too many great studio musicians. He found a job to make ends meet and began coaching and playing amateur hockey. He says, I ended up on a team with some agents and other entertainment people. I was hating my job and asked if anyone knew anyone in the music business. He says a teammate gave him the name Bill Schrank, vice president of music production at Warner Brothers Studios, and suggested that he write a letter. Since Schrank was too busy to talk on the phone, Soon afterward, Holm was unemployed and beginning to worry about his lack of prospects. After about a week, he had sent a letter. He had sent the letter and decided to try to reach Schrank by telephone. I was walking downstairs to make the call and the phone rang. It was him on the other end of the line. Holm was invited to come by the studio to talk, where he learned about jobs he never knew existed, including one that he thought he'd be perfect for, the one Schrank held. See, dreams, he dreamed to hold that music executive position of the guy that he was trying to get in touch with. Dreams. Schrank said, good luck. There are about 7 of these jobs in the business, all right? 1 per studio. Then 8 months later, Holmes was able to get 3 or 4 interviews in unrelated fields. Then all of a sudden, he finally ended up getting in that position. When he got in that position, he was so unaware of his job. This is what's funny about it. He was so unaware of his new job. He says, I was taken to my office by my assistant. I would have taken the job as my own assistant, he says. And then she said, you've got a meeting tomorrow morning at 8. I said, will there be any executives there? She said, duh, you're an executive. It was really kind of wacky and unbelievable, but I got the job I dreamt about. Don't give up on your dreams. That is one thing that I want to make sure you guys get out there. These are guys, professionals who had dreams and had aspirations to get to higher points in their life. And you know, we spend a lot of time working hard in this rat race, working to get somewhere. And if you're building multimedia, it's technically challenging. If you're building stuff on social media, it's technically challenging. Don't give up. There are ways to learn about it. And we're gonna keep providing ways on the 12 Steps to Multimedia Success. We're gonna keep giving you guys ways. And this video that I'm recording right now is gonna, you know, open your mind up to some of the avenues of the things that you need to make sure you pay attention to for yourself, for your industry, for your craft, for your love, for your pleasure. You know, whatever you want to use multimedia for. So with that being said, we're gonna jump back into the recorded block with those people who are gonna see this free block later. You guys will see this free block later on YouTube. I'm just giving you a little taste of what we're doing here. So with that being said, you guys on Facebook, thanks for coming in. Thanks for checking us out. This is Doc Real signing off for the 12 Steps to Multimedia Success. Peace. Now, you guys out here, I didn't get that off yet. You guys out here, I'm glad that you guys got a chance to hear that as well. I think it's an important story. Hold on, let me stop this. It's an important story, seeing, you know, people make it from one point of their life, investing in their dreams, spending the time and working hard at their dreams to get to that point. That's how we all get there. And don't get discouraged. I just want to make sure that you guys remember that. It may be challenging, but we'll keep bringing you the information you need. All right, with that being said, we're gonna jump into the live broadcasting block. For those live broadcasting, there's several ways to do some live broadcasting. Well, I wanna first talk about some of the tools. Now, today I'm doing pre-recorded broadcasting with cameras that, you know, we got Rich Bucks in the studio back here, you know what I'm saying? He being quiet back there because he's on the camera, but, you know, basically we're using Canon cameras right now. Canon cameras, and we're using an iPhone. Now, the reason why we're using Canon cameras is because that's his gear. These cameras also can do live streaming if you have the right tools and peripherals. So we're going to talk about some of the in the 12 Steps to Multimedia Success. We're going to talk about some of the peripherals you will need to do live streaming from your cameras. There are stuff made by companies. I don't know if I want to mention the name of the company right now. They're one of my favorite companies. So I want to be able to give you guys the information, but I want to be able to explain why. And I can't explain it in these free videos. I have to break it down in the membership videos because we already got 39 members. 39 now. Got to say that. Thank you, 39 beta testers who are on right now, and I'm locking it up right now all the way into December. So if you want to apply now, we will look at your applications, but we won't fully accept any more applications until December, until this program is fully locked, so that we can bring you 12 Steps to Multimedia Success right here, right in your home, so you can understand exactly. We got people coming on board, being a part of the team. Rich Bucks, I hope I can get him in front of the camera, teaching you guys about camera work, how to do editing. I mean, I must show you some editing too. I mean, I'm not just here, you know, talking about the stuff. I do the editing, I do producing, I film too. So, but I need to be able to give you other people's perspectives, so you're not just thinking, this is what Mario says, this is what Doc Rio says. No, this is what everybody in the industry are doing. This is what they are doing, mostly the black folks that I'm working with right now, and the black folks that I run into in the industry, and the black folks they run into in the industry. This is what they're doing out there. And that's why we're here trying to make sure that you know the peripherals that you need, the tools you need, the scripts you need, the understanding you need to get there. And with that being said, back to peripherals, we're going to talk about peripherals and how to set them up on your computer. Like, I use iMac, and with that, I'm going to be using this thing called a shuttle. I'm going to slide that in there for those who know what the shuttle is, and connecting for that live. And when it comes to live broadcasting for audio, actually right behind me I got a mixer that I use, and I pump that mixer through certain devices that are online that allow me to broadcast live. As you heard in Lucas Wiggins' interview, he was talking about Sam Broadcaster. That's one of the things that we use at kpcradio.com. But when it comes to mine, I may use several different other avenues to get the same job done. So we're going to talk about some of those avenues as well. I always say this, and Rich did it. You know, he bought 2 Canon cameras. I say buy 2 of the same camera. They don't have to be the same, like, you know, maybe he's got one that's got I forgot what it's called already. Full HD and one that's cropped HD. That's what it's called. Cropped HD. It's a crop frame. But even though they're both by the same company, Canon, and that makes it easier when it comes to editing, because they'll have the same kind of quality when it comes to the resolution, even though one's cropped and one's full framed. All right. So make sure you buy 2 or 3 of the same camera, and if that's 2 or 3 of the same mics, to, you know, things that you will be using. Also, audio mixers and sound card setup. Okay, now when I get into audio mixers and sound card setup, it gets a little tricky because some of us will have the audio external mixers, and some of us have internal sound cards that we just use. I like to use external, and I like to use external mixers. And I'm going to talk about those external mixers in the block. That's part of that extra added on mixer block that I was talking about last week when it came to sound mixers, but I didn't tell you that I'm using some of them as sound cards. So we're getting into how to set that up and how it works with your DAW as well. And speaking of DAW, that is your digital audio workstations, like your keyboards, your mixers, your turntables, those things right there. Those are the things that you'll be connecting as either sound cards or connecting through the same drivers or the same application software to connect to your computer or your sound card. So that's we're going to talk about how to really connect your DAW. And then we're going to jump into software and drivers. What particular software and drivers that you need or that work best with that. Next, we'll talk about stuff like live streaming. I want to really talk about live video streaming, and there's several sources. You can either use the free or low cost solutions like Ustream, Livestream, Skype, Google Hangouts, Periscope, Facebook, but we'll dig in on how to use those programs in the 12 Steps to Multimedia Success. We'll also talk about some of the other free or low cost solutions the professional solutions like Adobe Connect, OnStream, Click Meeting, WebEx, etc. and how their services break down and what service may be better for you, so you get a better idea. So we're gonna be applying all these things right here in the 12 Steps to Multimedia Success. And I think I forgot a tip somewhere. Yeah, I was supposed to put in another tip. Tip 9. And let me see if I got it right here. Tip 9. Tip 9. All right, guys. Do not use squeaky chairs. Had a problem with it in Lucas's interview. Tip 9, do not use squeaky chairs. So that's on the screen right now for you guys. Just remember that. Try to find chairs that are stationary and they don't make much noise. So, and I'm going to throw in 2 tips back to back. Since I didn't throw the tip in before the live session, I gotta throw them in back to back because I'm pretty much done with this block for you guys. Tip 10, iPhone recording. If you're doing iPhone recording, make sure you plug it in. I know I keep going back to these iPhone recording tips too, because some of us are using it all kind of ways, but make sure you plug it in, because a lot of times you'll run out in the middle of a session, especially in a 30-minute session. That battery power might die when you're recording video and audio. Also, if you're using it, and make sure you got enough free memory. I've had problems with the free memory because I fill up all my devices. So I always got to make sure I dump and make sure I have enough space. Last time I tried to use the iPhone as another camera during the Lucas Wiggins interview, and it failed, successfully failed. So that's the best part about success. It always has some kind of failure to get there. So remember, failure leads to success, and failure is a way to succeed. So with that being said, remember this. Before I go out the door, I keep saying, remember, invest in your dreams. Take the time. If that means investing your time, if that means investing your emotions, if that means investing your mind, if that means investing your heart, if that means investing your money, invest in your dreams, because they can come true. This is Doc Rio telling you to stay tuned for more for the 12 steps to multimedia success. And signing off. Peace. There it is. If you need to reach us on Facebook, it's at doc.rio, yeah. On Twitter at DocRealRants. On Instagram, the picture way. And every time I come, I'm here to stay. Snapping photos and get it right. It's at Doc Rio tonight. Say, on YouTube, you can't stop by Doc Rio TV. That's where you see me. That's where you see me. Hit us up on Rio Bucks. .com. Yeah. Back to your regularly scheduled program now. Peace. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Real TV.